Hi, it's Grammy from Grammy and Grandpa Read, and today I have a book for you called The Little Leprechaun Who Loved Yellow. Oh, and it's written by Sally Huss. The most important thing about being a leprechaun, said Patrick's mother as she buttoned him into his jacket, is wearing green. Green is the color of the Irish. Green is the color of the fields and hills of Ireland. Green is the color of shamrocks, and absolutely green is the color to be worn by all leprechauns, of which you are one, she continued. Patrick looked at himself in the mirror. He was not happy. His shoulders slumped and his head drooped. His hands hung and his knees sagged. Patrick was not happy because he liked more than just green. He liked all colors. He liked the red of the beach balls in the basket of balls and the roses outside of his window. He liked the blue of the sky and the boat he sailed in the bathtub. He liked oranges to eat and the orange of his school books. He liked purple grapes and purple snakes and purple fish. Yes, he liked all the colors of the rainbow. But most of all, he loved yellow. Yellow was the color of the sun and sunflowers and daffodils and tulips. There were wonderful yellow things to eat, like bananas and butters and lemon muffins and eggs. There were yellow buses to take him to school and yellow curls on pretty leprechaun girls. There were yellow pencils to write with and yellow brushes and yellow paint to make pictures with. Yellow was here and there and everywhere, but it was not a color he was allowed to wear. Green was the color worn by every leprechaun, large or small. That was the way it was. That was all. One day, while Patrick was playing with his schoolmates during recess, he noticed a magnificent rainbow in the sky. As with most rainbows, it had every color in it, including yellow. Then he remembered what was supposed to be at the end of the rainbow. A pot of gold. He had never seen a pot of gold, but he had heard about it. Gold, thought Patrick. That was the most beautiful yellow there is, and he had heard. He decided that this was the day to find out, so he slipped away from the other children on the playground and skipped off into the forest to investigate. As he meandered through the trees and along the riverbed over rocks and stumps, Patrick wished he had a friend to share his adventure. He was an only child in his leprechaun family, and sometimes he got lonely. If he had a friend, he could tell that friend how much he loved yellow and all things made of it, like buttercups along the path and butterflies on the bushes and yellow birds fluttering around the trees and the magnificent sun peeking through the branches. Everything yellow fascinated Patrick, but most especially right now, it was the pot of yellow gold at the end of the rainbow. As Patrick walked further into the forest, unbeknownst to him, back in his classroom, his teacher began to worry. He had not returned to class. His playmates, too, wondered where he had gone. The teacher reported Patrick's disappearance to the principal. The principal became so concerned that he called Patrick's mother. Eventually, the whole town was alerted. Within a short time, the whole community of leprechauns went out in search of Patrick. But little Patrick was not lost. He knew exactly where he was. He was on his way to the end of the rainbow. He seemed to be getting closer as he climbed to the top of a hill. The rainbow arched over it and disappeared onto the other side. What would he find? He would finally know if the story were true. Was there really a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? From the hilltop, Patrick looked down into the meadow below. His eyes followed the rainbow to where it stopped. There, glimmering in the last rays of the day's sunlight, was something golden, all right. With his heart pounding, Patrick ran as fast as he could, stumbling and tumbling down the hill. There at the bottom, he found something more beautiful than anything yellow he had ever seen, a golden retriever, yelled Patrick as he threw his arms around the dog's neck and hugged her with all his heart. The dog was just happy to be found by the little leprechaun, as he was to find her. In his enthusiasm for trying to find the pot of gold, Patrick had forgotten that the others might think he had become lost. Indeed, they did, and even formed a search party to hunt for him. Patrick's mother, who led the group, had a hunch that her son may have followed the rainbow. She led the search party in that direction. When the leprechauns peered down from the top of the hill, they too saw something more precious than a pot of gold, a little leprechaun and his dog. You have the luck of the Irish, Patrick, said his mother as she reached him. Happiness filled the end of the day as the leprechauns danced with joy at having found their treasure, young Patrick. They returned to their little town with Patrick and his dog Goldie in tow. That night, as Patrick slept with Goldie curled at his feet, Patrick's mother sewed. She knew that what had driven her son into the forest, his love of yellow, she would make sure that it never happened again. In the morning, to Patrick's delight, he found a brand new suit to wear, a yellow one, as golden as the coat of his new friend Goldie. The end, but not the end. I hope you like this book. Please subscribe to our channel and like the video.